Hi everyone, what is up? My name is Hayley. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you did not know, now you do. Hey you guys, what's up? In today's video, I'm just gonna get right into everything, you guys. I'm gonna be talking about the political climate. I'm gonna be talking about the presidential election. I was gonna make this video yesterday, technically the night of the election, and then have it uploaded the morning after, but the day before the election, the day of the election, the day morning following the election, it was so toxic on social media that I had to decompress. When I saw that Donald Trump was winning, I was like, you know what, Hayley, just take a day off from life. And I'm so happy I didn't have that much stuff going on with school and I could just be a vegetable today because I've needed time to let everything sink in. I've needed time to let everything like in myself simmer down because I am so hurt. I am so angry. I am so let down by so many people. People are probably thinking I'm referring to Donald Trump. No, I could care less about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is just technically an idea. He is a person, but he is an idea. He is a societal ideology, I guess you could say. He is a representation of the people that I am forced to live with in this country. And I think that is why I'm so hurt that the people surrounding me, the majority of people surrounding me voted for such a hateful idea. And like I said, I wanted to simmer down because I am angry. And there are people that are close to me in my family, like family members, friends that have voted for this man. And I want to try my best to be respectful, not to say that it has been respectful or reciprocated by these same people. But I do want to rise above in that regard to not cuss someone out or say F you to those people, even though deep down it might be there. And so a lot of people were like, how could this happen in the USA? How could someone like this be voted for? And I'm just sitting here as technically a minority in the United States thinking to myself, what do you mean? How could this happen? How could this like not happen? I would be surprised. I would honestly, I hoped that Kamala would win, but to be completely honest, I would be so surprised if she won. She was a brown woman. Never in a million years would that work in this society. When I talk on my YouTube channel about sexism, racism, so many different isms that are present in this country, Kamala was the face of things that people despise here, especially, in my opinion, Trump men voters. And you guys are probably thinking or saying to yourselves watching this, it's not every Trump voter. That might be the truth, but it's always a Trump voter. And that is the issue. So it's like the company you keep. If I'm hanging around with criminals, I'm hanging around with people that are bottom of the barrel scum, people are going to associate me with being bottom of the barrel scum. I knew that she wasn't going to win. I had hope that maybe the USA could turn itself around. But when you look at the history of how the United States was formed, mostly men coming to this country, taking something that didn't belong to them, killing people along the way, leaving destruction, leaving devastation along the way, basically lying, cheating, scamming their way to the top. And then, you know, fast forward decades and centuries later to where we are today, it's just a more modernized, civilized version of that. And so at some point, you have to accept, myself included, that it technically is a democracy and this person did win. But you can also simultaneously be so shocked and appalled by that outcome where you just say, what the hell is going on? I think to myself, all of these people voting for Trump are not voting on the basis of economic improvement, even though they say that, because the economy wasn't amazing when Trump was president. It wasn't the best it's ever been. There might have been good times, there might have been bad times, but that's also the same for every presidential election or every presidential term that we have had. Granted, some have been better than others, but there are many different factors that go into that. And so a lot of people say that they're basing it on his economic plan. There has been no economic plan. This man is a failed businessman in every aspect and area of his life. What you're generally, wanting him to do or what you're voting for is his spewed hatred of certain groups of people in this country, or against certain groups of people in this country, or even groups outside of this country, because that's the only thing he has been adamant and loud and outspoken about on the platforms given to him. He hasn't provided a stable economic plan. He hasn't provided any resources that says how he's going to boost the economy. He has not done that. What he has done is said over and over again, insults to certain groups of people, has put down certain groups of people, has constantly, just like, I don't know, pushed and pushed and pushed against people that are living in this country. Regardless if I agree with the way that someone's living, with someone's life choices, I still want them to have a very open, free, and equal life. But on Donald Trump's side, which is now the new Republican Party that we see in the USA, they don't want that for everyone. And it's just so scary to see, because you always think to yourself, oh, it's only the white people voting for Donald Trump. Okay, no, it's the white guy that's voting for Donald Trump. Oh, it's only the old people voting for Donald Trump. And then it's like, oh, it's also the Latin people that are voting for Donald Trump. Oh, it's also black people for voting for Donald Trump. And you're just like, how? Do y'all not hear the same words that are coming out of a man's mouth that I hear? Because it's disrespect, disrespect, offense, offense, offense. And the thing is, this man has been getting on an international platform for almost a decade now and shown that the United States is not as competent as we claim to be. In my opinion, Donald Trump, a shoelace would be better as a president than Donald Trump. There might be things, and I'm hoping that there are good things that he can do being president, but like, I'm speechless. I'm honestly speechless by everything that has come out. I'm speechless by people's reactions that I know that are celebrating this and saying, F abortions or F women's choice and things like this. It then boils down to, when do we accept that there is a fundamentally broken society here in the USA? When do we admit that there is a fundamental problem in this country that, in my opinion, you have so many people voting against themselves? I could understand maybe the 1% of people, the top 10% of people of this country voting for Donald Trump, where he says he's going to make the economy better for them. He's going to give tax breaks to these people. I could understand why certain groups would vote for him. But if you're a minority, if you have a background of maybe someone in your family coming to the United States illegally, I know people whose parents have come to the United States illegally, became citizens after coming here illegally, having their children here while they were illegally in the USA. And those same people are voting for a man that says he wants deportation of illegal immigrants. I don't know if it's cognitive dissonance. I don't know what it is, but like the people, it doesn't make sense. Who's voting for him? Like, they are shooting, literally there are people shooting themselves in the foot in this country over and over again, only because they don't want to be the bottom of the barrel. They associate themselves with a higher group of people. I feel like in the USA, white supremacy has become so prevalent that we now, like a lot of people associate, and they have in the past, and it's not something that's new, but they have associated whiteness with greatness. And so a lot of people will vote against themselves because they would much rather be associated with whiteness that is greatness in their eyes than try to make their life a little better for their true self. In my honest opinion, I don't know if I said this earlier or not, I didn't think Kamala was going to win, only because I know the US of A. I've lived here my whole life. I've grown up in rural United States of America, and the stories I can have or could tell about growing up in the USA, going to Bush rallies when I was like a 10-year-old or however old I was at the time, and seeing the hatred in people then and how it's transformed into today, I can tell you that she wasn't going to win. Of course, I was hopeful. I was hoping for the best, but I knew that it wasn't going to happen because of this country. And so, like I stated, when do we say we have a fundamentally broken society where racism, sexism, any type of ism is on full display and people still vote for those things? They say, you know, he's talking bad about this group of people. He's talking bad about that group of people. He's talking crazy and bad about another group of people. But you know what? I'm not included in that group or any of those groups. So he doesn't mean me. At what point do you say, hey, that's a little too far? I don't know, you guys. It's sad. Like, as always, it is sad. This is probably one of the worst mistakes. Like, there's a long list of things that the United States has made regarding mistakes. And so this is really high on the list. In the history of the USA, I feel like this will go down as one of the worst mistakes we as people, we as voters have made, because we have so much power. And with our power, we chose, not me, I didn't choose this man, but the majority of people chose this horrible representation for our country. And so, I don't know, we will see, you know, next year how everything goes. I'm praying that it's not as bad as it's predicted to be. I'm hoping that, you know, he's not going to do everything he said he's going to do, because I'm hoping he was just spewing hatred to get votes, to get a little bit more power, to win the presidential election. And he'll be too consumed with his own issues and getting himself out of, you know, prison time, getting himself out of legality issues and stuff like that. I'm hoping that the focus for him is more on selfish reasons. I mean, he's a very selfish man, so fingers crossed that that comes true. And I'm hoping that the things that he spewed, the hatred that he spewed, was all just like a facade. I mean, looking like in the past and at the history of everything that has happened, that has not been the case. But I'm just, you know, I hoped Kamala would be president and she would win, but it didn't happen. So me hoping that Trump does the right thing, or at least doesn't do the worst possible thing, is probably also a griff and clue. And so with that being said, throw it away. This country needs a reset, like a hard reset. Every waking moment, every day that I wake up here in the USA, ever since being back, I just always regret it a little bit more. And that is so, so sad for me. And so with that being said, thank you so much for watching, you guys. To everyone that voted for Kamala, thank you for, in my opinion, being on the right side of history, being on the right side of voting. If you didn't vote for Kamala and you think that we're the dumbest group of people that maybe could vote for her, that is perfectly fine. But in our, how do you say, Verteidigung, in like our defense, we honestly thought we were voting for kindness, for happiness, for less divisiveness here on US soil. And so with that being said, thank you so much for watching, you guys. I love y'all. Have a wonderful day, and bye.